time is 2:35. Good afternoon. It's another beautiful Wednesday where we get to delve into our very exciting hot topics on your favorite talk show with your favorite ladies. It's called The Dish. My name is Ifunaya, and in the studio with me, I have the birthday girl with her legs crossed. Why?
What do you mean? I don't need to cross my legs.
Kellyanne.
Hi.
And also, Ayana.
Hello, people. Hello, Lagos.
Hello. Ayana, we missed you last week on
Oh,
the
I
Hot
missed
Topic
you guys
segment.
too.
I'm glad you're here. Goma isn't here today,
Oh,
but hopefully she'll
we
be
swap
back.
places.
Yeah, you guys swap places. So today's hot topic is a very interesting one, as every other hot topic is. And so it's a question, and I will break it down further so that you understand what I'm saying or you understand the context of this particular hot topic. So the question is, should entertainers, I'm talking musicians, comedians, actors, those people that do skits on Instagram and social media in general. Online comedians as well. Yeah, so they are categorized under comedians. Should entertainers who use their craft to encourage crime be condemned or be responded to or reacted to like those who encourage sexual assault? Now, we've seen that in recent times, we've had a shift in the dimension of how sexual assault is being looked at because of the enlightenment that we've received. Talking about certain actions or attitudes or words that would have been normal in the past or seen as normal.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, we know that there is some sort of sexual undertone or it's a double entendre or what have we. And so we're very vocal about it these days, where if there's anyone that seems to sort of encourage or romanticize the idea of, sexual abuse or sexual assault, we call them out, we condemn them, we put them right in their place, really. And a lot of times you see them come out to apologize. They say, I did not know this is what we've been using as jokes since, or, things like that in music or whatever the case might be. Now, the question is, if we've seen, sexual assault, which is an ill in society, and we condemn those who use their craft to encourage it, do you think that those who encourage other forms of criminality, drug abuse, for instance, gang violence, shooting people, killing people, or just beating them up, or whatever the case might be, so if they're using their craft to encourage that, should they be seen in the same light? And should they be treated the same way those people who use their craft to encourage sexual assault are being treated? That's the question. So I hope you guys understand it. Before delving into that, guys, I want us to start with this. Because we've had this conversation, a couple of times, but I believe that this definitely goes with this topic.
Okay.
The idea of being a role model. Because a lot of times we see entertainers, we expect this is what you should do with your music or with your craft. So ladies, I want us to start with that. Do you think that if you are a public figure, if you are an entertainer, that you're automatically a role model, or you should be a role model?
It's a slippery slope. Very slippery slope. I remember when Rihanna said nobody should make her a role model.
I remember that.
I, for one, as a person, of course, I have artists that I really like, I admire, but never looked at their way of life, but well different, how we think, how we reason. In the same vein, I have people who want to dress up like certain artists, even though they're like basically in my age grade, or want to look in a certain way, or want to amplify themselves along the lines of certain celebrities, so to speak. At the end of the day, even though the artist will tell you, or people would say, you can't make these people your role model, it almost comes with the territory. That's why I said it's a very slippery slope. It almost comes with that territory, and it's very difficult. The lines are very blurry, extremely blurry. Having said that, can we now go on to answer your question? regarding.
Before
all
that.
right.
So, Kel,
Yeah,
what are your thoughts about the idea of someone that is a public figure just being a role model and people thinking you're don't you know that children are looking up to you? Why are you acting like this? Why are you dressing this way? Why are you so? What are your thoughts about that? If you're a public figure, are you a role model?
I would go with Rihanna's response to, don't make me your role model. I'm not anybody's role model. Because especially in this day and age where we have people becoming famous for almost doing nothing. So what exactly is this person your role model for? Because they are popular? Do you even know if they have money? Do you even know if they have any actual talent? Do you know if they're intelligent? So what exactly are you role modeling in this person? So I would say no, not every famous person should be a role model, and you should not make every famous person your role model. Let your kids look up to you. Don't come and be policing people who fame just stumbled upon to start to basically live a life of, oh guys, this is what I do. We have to be kind to each other and we have to just be this. Not everybody's built for that. Some people are. So pick the ones that already are built for that. But for the rest of the ones who are just enjoying the limelight, let them be.
Some parents aren't even role models.
Oh
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
yeah. Some parents aren't.
Well, that's an angle.
And then you now take someone you're not even related to or you don't even know, just by virtue of popularity, you now place them on a pedestal. A lot of times you will be disappointed. That's the reality. A lot of times you'll be disappointed.
So, Kel, you mentioned something about people that were built already, maybe you see them in a certain position and automatically you believe, well, this is the type of role model that you should be looking up to. People that also even come out to pose themselves as role models. Now, I'm talking about that because we know that in this social media day and age, there are people that are so pained when individuals come out flaunting their wealth, posing as role models. Now, those individuals that pose as role models, are they actual role models? If they say, well, I'm your role model, and they're going out, organizing conferences to inspire young girls and young boys, in a situation like that, are those types of people role models?
Those people, are they placing themselves as role models or basically just teaching a craft or teaching a trade and making money off it? That's where those are the kind of questions we should ask.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, if I've seen all sorts of masterclasses, some really weird stuff. In fact, there was one I saw about lips. In fact, don't let me go there.
Lips what?
Lipstick. Because if I go there, a lot of people know who I'm talking
I think
about.
I saw that one.
And you know what? You know what? It did my head in.
Say what now?
Excuse me, it did my head in. See, there's me wanting to make money. I could do a masterclass on lounge management, on how to and do a 2-week whatever. Still doesn't make me a role model. Just makes me a master of what I do in terms of my craft. Yeah, in terms of my profession. You don't know what I'm up to most of the time. So, like I said,
So,
I started to Google the meaning of role model.
Yes.
And let me read it out, and then let me just basically give an example of how I see it now. So a role model is a person whose behavior or example of success is or can be emulated by others, especially younger people. A role model is someone others look to as a good example. So if now I want to become a sugar baby, and I want to make my money that way, Perhaps I would say this person who has been in the business since is my role model. So I guess now being a role model, it depends on what you are looking for in life. If in life all you want to do is drive fast cars and spend fast money and not caring where it comes from, then it's all good. Look at the people who have that kind of lifestyle. If you want to be a video vixen, find a video vixen that is your role model. If you want to be somebody who goes to the club every night and just lives that kind of life, find that person who's your role model. So basically, what you want in your heart, follow the people that are doing it.
Now, in a case when the people are modeling what you want in your heart, but not necessarily going through the ranks or the process that they're telling you that they're going through. For instance, people that flaunt a certain level of success on social media and tell you, work hard. hustle, burning the midnight candle.
Yeah, we know them.
Making other people believe that this is the
It's all about
process
work
that
hard.
they went through. What would you say about those role models, so to speak?
Well, they are living their lives,
said
doing
they are
what they
living-
do.
No, the thing is, you work
You
tired.
work hard,
Because-
but you cannot attain the level of a seeming success they have if you don't know what they're actually doing.
And you know what they say, all that glitters is not
No,
gold.
exactly.
Because-
Everything's a facade on social media.
Well,
Yeah,
not
true, it's
everything. Don't say that.
curated.
Everything is not a
Well, it's
facade. Some
curated.
people
90%.
well, I don't know the
lot.
statistics.
So we
a
can
lot,
say a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
A lot.
yeah.
A lot of things
The
on
thing
social
is,
media.
there are people whose lifestyle is actually what they depict.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, that's how their life is.
Yeah.
They probably grew up in a whole lot of wealth or a whole lot of advantages growing
Yeah.
up. There are people like that. But like I said, you see, for me, social media, I glean some things off social media. And what I glean off social media is not a whole lot in terms of what I impact into my own life. A lot of times I tell people, see, when I'm on Instagram or whatever it is, I think the only thing I probably read properly is Twitter, when I'm reading tweets and stuff and things like that, or even on Facebook. It's like flicking through a magazine.
Yeah.
For me.
true.
Do you understand? I know what happens in magazines.
A
I
lot
know
of
the
airbrushing.
altering, the photoshopping,
Of
the
course.
messaging to try and attract me. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true,
Mm.
but it's to attract whatever is in my pocket to come out and for me to pay for those
Exactly.
ads. So that's how I view, social media,
media.
so to speak. And it's always so funny when you have people quoting from gossip blogs on social media and things like. A lot of these times, people pay these people to put up this
course.
nonsense
Yeah, they
about
do.
others.
That's very true.
People actually pay
They
them,
do.
and it's not a lot of money, yo. Don't be fooled. It's not. It's really not. At least in my own personal experience, it was not. It was not a lot of money at all.
That's terrible. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, to be honest, when it comes to celebrities being role models, I
Yeah.
believe that when you are in the spotlight,
Yeah.
it inevitably comes with a certain
territory.
expectation of responsibility.
Yep.
And so people believe. So ideally, right, we believe that, and I believe maybe this is based on our own moral compasses, that when you are in the spotlight, know that a lot of people are looking up to you. A lot of people they're just in awe of your craft. And automatically, if they're in awe of your craft, they're in awe of other things that you're doing. Because they might begin to believe that, well, since this person is the person I look up to, let me try and model my life according to that person's lifestyle.
What if you don't
And
have a
so,
craft?
your craft can just be being popular
Okay.
on social media.
Or
You're-
likable, or
or
very
likable, yes.
somebody who's
or
very
being able
likable
to
for
pose,
nothing.
having like a nice aesthetic.
Yeah,
That could be your craft
yeah.
itself.
Or you got the best filters on lockdown.
Exactly. And that's the truth. And so I believe like ideally like this is what we would want, but
Yes.
realistically speaking, we know that the fact that you're in the limelight doesn't necessarily mean that you have the tenets to be a role model. And that's the reason why I always advise parents saying that, listen, we are in such an information age that information is being thrown at us every now and then, left, right, center. There's so much that's going on. And so you as a parent and as a guardian, you have to be the watchdog for whatever it is that your kids are consuming. Now, we know that you're not always going to be there, when your kids are on social media. But to an extent, as much as you can, you let them know, have conversations with them saying, listen, I know that you like this person as a musician. I know you like the way she sings and the way she dances and the way she dresses, but this is the way, we are bringing you up to be. Do not necessarily take everything that you're seeing from this person. Yes, you can pick and choose. And I always say, be a sponge. Pick and choose. Take in the ones that you like. When you go to the comfort of your home, squeeze out the ones that do not serve you as a person.
Yep.
So yes, ideally, when you are a public figure, automatically people believe that you ought to act better or act in a certain way.
Yes.
But that's not how it is realistically. So it's up to you as an adult, to be able to, by yourself, figure out what's best for you and also guide your children or those that are younger or more naive, I should say. Let's
You
take...
see why my children are not going to join social media until they're 21.
I thought you said 18, Ayana.
No, it's 21.
21.
When they're in uni and they spent like a year or so or two.
Oh my God.
No longer 18.
I reckon that they might have secret social media accounts, Ayana.
Whatever.
Let's take this. Lagos Talks. Good afternoon. Who's speaking?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Buka.
Hey,
Good
Buka.
afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah,
Ebuka, are you rapping?
I was gonna ask that. Maybe it's a birthday rap for Kel.
Is this today now? Happy belated birthday
Where's her
once again.
cake?
If you own a cake, maybe on Tuesday I'll bring something. So, if you're doing your birthday, it was all through the month. So, Kel, happy belated birthday. Let's start it for you.
Fantastic. I like that. Keep that energy up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's
like
hear
what
you.
said, it's just for the balance. You see, like at times I do call you, show me, I play, we laugh. When it's serious business, we are into serious business, we talk and go. Like your organization, you see, they have mastered the craft. When you come on air, you prepare your program, you do your thing and go, right? Just because you want things, people to see what you represent your brand. Now, these guys in the media, they have already understood their craft. They come with whatever thing, and not really their lifestyle. It's just because they want to make money off this thing. Just because of moral, seeing their personality in our society, they say moral dependency. People don't know what to do. Now, taking it to the government, they have to come from the, let's say, neutral ground, set policies that will checkmate most of these things. What am I trying to say? IGNI will come and say any of the leaders, they need to go through leadership positions so they will know what they are going out there to do. You get? So for all these things that we are getting in our society, is the work of the government to checkmate it. So when people are consuming anything, let there be balance.
Okay.
Let it not be that people are going out of their minds to do things because they are looking at somebody as their role model. Not knowing that their role model just needs to make money and go off and live their normal life. You get?
All right, Ebuka, thank you. Thank you very much. This is coming from a listener saying, I'm sorry, but I have never seen any entertainer who encourages crime with their craft. Maybe if you give an example, it will help give more insight. Showing a crime in your skit or movie doesn't mean you're encouraging it, and not everybody who is famous has to have a talent to be. All right, we'll definitely cite some examples if you're listening.
God.
There you go. This is coming from Oluche saying, good afternoon, beautiful women of the dish. I don't think anybody should make anyone a role model because we don't know what people go or do behind closed doors. Not even religious leaders that some have almost made a god out of can be emulated. Find your values somewhere else. Like if he usually says, be a sponge and just soak up what you think is right for you. Do not make people you don't know, their lifestyle behind closed doors, your role model. All right, if you're listening, join the conversation. We are having conversations about role models and also about artists or entertainers who use their craft to portray things like crime. Do you think that anybody that is in the limelight, that is a public figure, is a role model? So what are your thoughts about that? Do you think anybody that's a public figure is a role model? You can send your tweet to @LagosTalks913 using the hashtag #TheDishLagos, or you could call 0809 234 5913, 0809 222 0913, 0809 191 3913. You could also call 01515 0913, 01515 1913.
If you decide to make someone your role model, where do you draw the line? Do you take them wholeheartedly or you take bits of them? A classic example is somebody like Mandela.
Yeah.
Mandela was touted, freedom fighter. He, stood for the ideals of Pan-Africanism and things. But his personal life was in shambles, so to speak.
It definitely was.
So where do you draw the line if you decide to place someone as your role model?
What about Martin Luther King Jr. as well? The issues he had in his marriage.
Yeah. So where do you draw the line with these people?
I feel like I see it as having a mentor.
Okay.
Because I've come to realize that you can have a mentor for different things.
Of course.
A business mentor, a marriage mentor, a mentor for investment, and what have we. And I feel like that's what it is. You always have to identify what exactly or what role or behavior am I trying to model in this person. So I feel like we need to get to a point where we understand that these people, at the end of the day, they're human beings and they have their flaws. And so you have to identify what you like or what you admire in that person. So pick and choose. That's what we should always do.
Just reminds me when people were getting upset with WAP.
They're like, what do you expect? You already know that this is the type of songs that they sing. So what are you
as in? And then like, oh, you're a mother, you have a child. Guy, worry about yourself. because she doesn't let her child listen to her songs.
Exactly.
There's a video that she posted where she
my
stopped.
gosh.
Yeah, she noticed that the child ran in and she quickly
Culture running and she
stopped,
stopped, yeah.
music. I said nope. She said nope.
Let's take this. This is coming from Samson saying maybe we need to do away with the traditional idea of role modeling and redefine it. A key part of role modeling. A key part of role modeling is the role part. You can like certain roles or aspects of a person's life and not necessarily their morality as well. This is coming from Don J, always dignified, saying, Iffy, after listening to you for years, I've come to these conclusions. You're a model of impeccable character, a reflection of purity and innocence, and a certain kind of angel. You are the best in what you do. Regards to the ladies in the studio. Thank you very much, Don J, for that's very sweet of you. This is coming from Ben. Hi, ladies. To me, celebrities and entertainers are not to be called role models. I mean, they're humans and they have their flaws. For me, I'll always appreciate their craft, but never a role model. Now, ladies, just getting into the heart of today's conversation. Going back to what I explained earlier, we've seen people in the past and some comedians that have come under fire who maybe made some sort of joke that had a sexual abuse undertone to it or jokes about rape. And they've had to come to apologize. We know how it's like they're watchdogs for sexual assault on social media looking for, what this comedian said. And this is not just a Nigerian thing, it's across the board as well. And now in the case where we also see some musicians glorify certain illicit behaviors like drug abuse, talking about smoking, some talking about actual crimes with guns and what have we. Should they be treated the same way? Or should they be called out or criticized the same way?
Who holds the moral compass for all of us to start with? Because 1 minute, cancel culture is telling us to ignore these comedians and these artists who put out this sadistic joke, so to speak, you know, and then in the same vein, the next thing, a corporate is picking them up and endorsing them.
There you go.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really, who holds that well, outside of God, you know? You know what I mean? As in,
of course,
who determines that, okay, because you said that rapey type joke, no, you know, that type of thing, or whatever, or you're condemned forever. Do we really condemn them forever? We tend to have amnesia, selective amnesia.
We move on quickly.
And the next thing, we move on. The Able God song that I really love, that used to really tick
No,
Kel off. Until somebody broke it down
and said this is what the
until
song
somebody
is about.
broke it down and said,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
when they said Mogbokwe, it's not your, because Mogbokwe means basically receive Thanksgiving in Yoruba. But apparently, it's a Yahoo lingo. Yeah, that your maga has paid. That apparently that's what it means. Somebody, you remember that, Kel? Somebody broke it down
for us.
And this is a song that I'll be bobbing. Able God, I even have.
And some people even bob it in song in church as well.
Because they said
the
God
video
in the song.
was shot in church.
Yeah.
You know?
And it just seemed like a song that was saying, God, thank you for your blessings.
I think if you've got people you mentor, if you've got people you look up to, who look up to you, I think it's for you to be able to tell them where to draw the line. Because the truth is, outside of these entertainers physically raping people or physically committing these crimes or encouraging people to come into the fold to commit these crimes, I'm not really sure how we can actually write all of them off. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a very dicey situation. Hence, you know, the reason I said, who holds that moral compass? Because 1 minute, like I said, you see these people, we're all upset, we're really angry because the jokes aren't funny. You know, because somebody somewhere is probably, you know, in a state because this reminds her of something that happened to her, or this reminds him because Mena is also raped, you know, and this reminds him of some sexual assault that took place. And this guy, as much as we're getting all upset, and then somebody from XYZ International Corporation will tell you that that's their brand ambassador. We have a classic example of somebody who was accused of rape, and the next thing he's winning endorsements. Remember? So, you know, so the thing is, see, your moral obligation is to yourself. Where do I draw the line? Is this song going to cause me to get lusty or lustful? Is this song going to cause me to take drugs? Be your own moral compass. Fulfill your own moral obligations. If you're looking at society, it's a waste of time.
What about you, Carl?
I totally agree. Where I would draw the line at is, rape jokes or songs encouraging rape or sexual harassment. When it comes to doing crime or, committing fraud, if because this person is singing about it and you want to carry your head and go and do it, then that's on you. Just remember that there's a consequence for it. And if you do the crime and get caught, you're going to do the time. So I believe that when we get to a certain age, we know right from wrong. We know the kind of life that we want to live. And we know that if we choose option A or option B, we know that if there are consequences, we have to ask ourselves, can we face them? Because when they arrest you for, doing what they said in Able God, you can't go to court and say, but this song said, this is what they said. So I was just following them. They're not going to arrest the artist with you. My God, don't pay.
Shout hallelujah.
You know that it took me years to even know what that. I didn't even know.
Like, they're not going to arrest the artist with you. So that's totally on you. I just believe that, people who decide to do fraud, do drugs, they're adults, and you know that, hey, if you overdose, you die. If you, get caught, you're going to go to jail, spend a long time in prison. So be wise.
All right. If you are listening, please feel free to join the conversation. What are your thoughts about this? We are asking, should entertainers who use their craft to encourage crime be condemned like those who encourage sexual assault? Okay, I wanted to because I was just like...
I want to respond to the first thing he said, which I believe is just unnecessary. That I have a glass of wine, it doesn't mean that when I have a baby, I'm going to call my baby, hey, come have some wine with me. If when the child grows up, if the child feels that the child wants to actually smoke or drink or whatever, that's on the child when he's an adult. So saying that no parent wants anybody to be smoking around their baby. So that one is just,
parents do smoke, parents do drink. It's just that.
Yeah, you can't do it around a child.
Exactly. Because while the people smoking and drinking, there's somebody's parents at some point.
Exactly. So when the child grows up, if the child wants to smoke or drink, that's on the child.
Anyway. All right. No, just regarding this particular topic, it's they could be role models now.
Okay. Yeah.
Like we've established what a role model should be.
Anointed. So even when they go wrong,
I don't.
We're not supposed to touch them.
Anyways, like regarding this particular topic, it's a very dicey place to be because,
it is very,
particularly when artists use their craft to glorify illicit drugs, for instance. There are a few things I want to actually establish because there are several factors that have affected or influenced the deterioration of society. I'm not going to say it's drug abuse alone. It's drug abuse. There are other things. But I will say that in recent times, drug abuse amongst the youth has increased exponentially for several reasons. There are people that see it as a form of escapism because, let's be very honest, life has become very complicated, more stressful, a lot of pressure, either coming from social media or from expectations of your parents or expectations in society, and the list goes on and on. And so they've seen it as a form of escapism because they believe, you know what, I just want to leave my present reality for a moment because there's just so much that I need to deal with. Now, it's also because of popular culture. Now, popular culture through music, who's saying to them, this is a cool thing to do. It has come to a point where you're around people, and one of the questions that is almost normal to ask, it's the second hello is, do you smoke? And they're not talking, do you smoke cigarette? It's marijuana.
Yeah.
And
something deeper.
Or something deeper. They're like, do you want some? Or have you tried this before? It's almost the norm. Do you get it? Because it is popular culture. And so I would come from the perspective or the standpoint of how it has deteriorated and is deteriorating society, where the young ones, what they know is smoking this and smoking that. And we can also link it to how music romanticizes it, or forms of art or artistic expressions romanticize it. And people see it and it's normal and they're like, you know what, let me try it out. And so should they be treated or responded to or, held in the same position as those who maybe romanticize or encourage sexual abuse? I could say what we could do as a people, right, is to ensure that if we're seeing that this is what they're doing, we can speak up about it. Speaking up about it doesn't necessarily mean that their music is going to be pulled down by NBC or whatever the case might be, but it's a form of awareness to let people know that in as much as this is popular culture, it is still illicit. Do you understand? It shouldn't be normalized in such a way that it's like second nature for a lot of people who are singing the music, laughing about what's in the music, vibing to the music, and then the children growing up around us and the young ones think, oh, this is normal. So yes, we should speak up about it. If we see that this is what they're using music for, we should speak up about it, and it will always be our own preference or our own prerogative. The fact that it may not necessarily be a general consensus, so to speak, doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't speak up about it. If you're speaking up against someone that is encouraging sexual abuse because you know that is a bane in society, we should also speak up against those people who've decided to romanticize and to encourage illicit drugs. Just taking a look at a statistic, it says that over the past year alone, nearly 15% of the adult population in Nigeria, that's about 14.3 million people, reported a considerable level of the use of psychoactive drug abuses. It's a rate much higher than the 2016 global average of 5.6% amongst adults. Now, this survey was led by Nigeria's National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, and I believe I've actually broken down even based on geopolitical zones and states the rate of drug abuse amongst women in Nigeria. So I feel like all these things, in as much as it may not feel like it's influencing or if it's part of it, remember the power that the arts have when it comes to you trying to advertise something, or when it comes to you trying to introduce something to the public or to society. Remember, Ayana, I think I've mentioned this before, talking about how Hollywood or America has been able to establish themselves as the first country or the main country or the most powerful country. Exactly, because they took advantage of Hollywood. They created the mentality that we have of the USA. Through using the arts. And this is what happens with the arts as well. And so I believe that, yes, we should speak up about it. If we see that this is what's going on, we should speak up about it.
How you'd react
to rape. I was confused because are there different levels of reacting to rape? If you know that rape is bad, it will disgust you at every level. But then if you are a rape apologist, you will be feeling a certain type of way about rape. So there's no two ways about expressing anger about rape.
Should go hand in hand with some form of decency
and
common sense.
I like that. I feel like that's it. Hits the nail on the head.
So it's not something that we can regulate with artists, but we just so when they actually it's on us when they do these things to speak out against this.
Exactly. This is coming from Samson saying, I was once on a street while they celebrated the end of the year carnival. A kid not more than 9 years old was drinking a 40% sachet alcohol and dancing. He was also displaying some violence. When he saw how I stared at him, he knew he was wrong. Wow. This is coming from Ebuka saying, you see, my lesson was learned from the scripture, and the book of Proverbs helped me in this journey of life. Then every other person is there to resound those lessons for me. Share role model, they share money ni. Are they here to help me in my personal struggles? I respect people for their intelligence, but I do me and learn from people. This is coming from... Okay, maybe not read that. Lagos Talks.
Hello, good afternoon, ladies.
Hi, good afternoon. Who's speaking?
Good afternoon, Ayana.
Hello.
Long time no hear your voice on here. Good afternoon, Kel.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you.
More wisdom, more lyrics, more music.
More lyrics.
Amen.
Ify, good afternoon, Ify.
Good afternoon.
My name is Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi,
All right,
Brian.
let's hear you quickly so that we can wrap this
I
up.
think that public figures should mind what they put out in public. And I think we should do more with parental control, with platforms like Instagram, Facebook. If we watch the age of people that come online and what they see, I really do, because whether you like it or not, our public figure, our celebrities, you build our future, you shape our future. Just like you said about Nollywood and how they built their country. Every time in their movie you see them, they are so intelligent. They are always tricking you, they're making you see that they are much more smarter than the world. And I think we should start now. And I find that lots of illiterates are handling so many things, and that's why everybody is just like that. Imagine they're spraying money. Everybody thinks when you are spraying money, you are rich. Buying car, nobody's thinking building hospital is a good thing to do. Nobody's thinking education, private education. People should be doing buying bottle in the bar now. Is that if you don't buy the prayer, like I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy it, but let's not make it look as if our future, because whether you like it or not, you will train the joint to shake and shake.
All right, Brian, thank you very much for that. It is 3:25, guys. We need to wrap this up. It's been a great conversation.
Very, very, very. I even learned some things.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone who was a part of the show today. Kel and Ayana, thanks so much for stopping by. Before saying goodbye, any words?
You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Ayana Bijou. That's AYANA BIJOUX. On Facebook at Ayana Jibola. Sorry, at Ayana Bijou. That's 2 words, Ayana Bijou. And please mask up. COVID is still very much out there.
Mask up. My name is Kel. You can follow me.
You forget your name.
God, I thought you were something. I thought you were Chinwe.
I said my name. I said my name. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Kel Online is my handle everywhere. Thanks again for the birthday wishes, guys. I appreciate it. God bless.
You're welcome.
Amen. All right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of today's Hot Topic segment. Remember, this happens Wednesdays from 2:30. I was going to say 12:30 for a second. 2:30 right here on Lagos Talks 91.3. Remember, we get to talk about topical issues, exciting topics as well, topics that are trending, and we get to dissect it from different perspectives, including yours. So please ensure that you join the conversation Wednesdays, 2:30. Thank you so much, everyone that was a part of this once again. You can reach out to me on Instagram and on Twitter at Ify_I. That's IFY_I. And do not forget, for past episodes of our special Hot Topic segment, check out our YouTube page, Lagos Talks 913. Ensure that you subscribe, like our videos, watch our videos before you like it. Comment as well. The conversation is ongoing, and share it as well. Let people know about the special Hot Topic segment. Thank you so much to everyone once again. Coming up is the Forex program. That's going to be coming up any moment from now, so stick around.